What's good, y'all? King Eats. So, a little unknown fact about me is that I worked at Taco Bell for like 2000. It was my first job. Worked there from like 2006 to 2014, 15. So, people will often ask me, what what about this and what about that as far as the food. So I'm gonna give y'all some secrets, some tips, and I can't say tricks, but so where should I start? Chalupas. People ask me about chalupas. Chalupas are nothing but this thick flat bread. It comes in a pack. It comes frozen. You got to throw it out. I think it takes like 24 hours if I'm right. All items have a hold time. I don't know if those hold times change. I want to say the chalupas have a hold time after they're cooked. They come in like this. It's a thing. It's like 5 or 6 rolls of this like chalupa shaped thing. You put it in the machine, not a machine, but it's like this metal thing that you put in the fryer. But it was a trick because if you don't put it in there right, like if you don't line up the air, like the lines on the chalupa, it would break. It would break in half. So it was a trick to it. So you had to know what was up to do it right. Or every time you try to put them in there, they would just crack in half. But always, always, always ask for fresh chalupas. Always, always, always. See, with Taco Bell, they were geniuses at marketing. All of those new items that they have are just recycled everything. Really, it's only the beans, the beef, the chicken, the steak. They used to have spicy chicken, which they need to bring back. You got your red sauce, the nacho cheese, pizza sauce. Now I think they brought back the Mexican pizza. What was it, the guacamole? I don't know if they have the guacamole. They used to have guacamole. At first, they had the pump, which was trash. I hated it because it would get frozen because nobody bought it. It tastes better than the newer one that they had that you would scoop out. And then onions, lettuce, 3 cheese, cheddar cheese, and tomatoes. They used to have like this avocado ranch, the Baja sauce, and then they had the lava sauce. They had a lot of shit. Taco Bell fell off. They really fell off. They had some good items like the volcano menu. The spicy chicken burrito was fire. But I feel like I'm getting off topic here. But as far as the food, so I guess some secrets. As far as the beans come in a white bag. I don't know if the bag is white anymore, but it comes in a white bag. You hydrate it with bun water. So it's a machine. The water gets to about 200 or 300 degrees. You pour, who was it? I think you would have to pour the water first and then the beans. I think it was a proper way because they would come in and inspect, and you had to build everything right and make everything to Taco Bell standard. But anyways, it's like dry beans, like I want to say almost like pre-cooked, and then they would dry them, and then they would package them, and then you would come at the store, and then you would rehydrate them. With the beef comes in these clear bags. It comes in a box, clear bags. So you get a case of beef. They have a thing called the rethermalizer. So all of the beef, chicken, steak, nacho cheese, it goes in this big metal machine, and they have slots. So you put them on the racks, and you put the racks into the rethermalizer. So it will be this super hot water that you put the meat and everything else in, as far as like the nacho cheese and pizza sauce. So the beef, you pull it out. I think it took like 30 minutes for it to get out of the rethermalizer. The beef and the beans would dry quick, honestly. So what happened with the beans or beef, if it gets dry, you just pour some bun water in there. Simple as that. So if your beans are dry or the beef is dry when you get Taco Bell, they just let it sit there. Which it means a couple things, right? One, maybe they didn't portion it right as far as when they initially made the beans. And then two, they were slow. They weren't stirring it, because you're supposed to stir the meat and the beans ever so often, because it'll get like a layer of like hardness if it just sits there, right? That's just what it is. Also, another trick or tip: don't go to Taco Bell when they first serving breakfast. Not breakfast, but when they first serving lunch, because they may have carryover food. You don't want that, because that food could have been sitting there for hours before they close. They carry it over. They may not follow the carryover standards right. So you got these nasty beans and beef and nacho cheese that's sitting in a carryover bag, and it's all watery and all this other stuff. So I will wait at least until about noon, when they kind of ran through the carryover stuff, and then that way you can get some fresh product, right? Because you were able to add the carryover, you would use the carryover first, so you were supposed to. This is just the standards that I remember. And then I don't think you were able to mix in the new product with the old carryover, but some people did it. But let's just be real. When you work in food service, there's standards, but the people that make these standards and these procedures never worked in food in their life. They just have these ideas, and a lot of that shit just doesn't work, man. It's just like, have y'all ever worked in the kitchen or worked at the McDonald's or the Taco Bell? They haven't. So they think they know what's going on, because when I first started, they had certain standards as far as like the prep schedule and shit like that, and then it drastically changed by the time that I left in like 2014, 2015. But a lot of that food that you get when you come in early, like when they start serving like lunch, it's probably carryover. So keep that in mind. So as far as the Mexican pizza, it's nothing more than they use this. It's just this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's this metal thing that has different slots, right? It's about 10 slots. What you would do is you would open it up, because it kind of opens up like an accordion. You would put this, it's like a tortilla or dye, something, I don't know what it was called on the bag. But it was a pack of like tortillas, but almost not like tortillas, but tortillas, like circle shells. You would put those in there one by one. You use the little tongs, because you would need to get those tongs to get them out of the Mexican pizza the thing. I forgot the name of it. But then what will happen is that you will put them in there. You put this little clasp on. I don't even know if that's the right word. Then you drop it for like 15 or 30 seconds. You pull it up, and then you pull them out, right? With everything that you get, I would say, except for the Mexican pizza shells, because I think those would last in the heating cabinet for like 24 hours. Always get your chalupas fresh, right? Always ask for it, because those were sitting there for hours and hours and hours. And people, I don't know if they still do it, but they would they would change the labels, because it could be the area coach or it could be whoever. They would change the labels as if the chalupas were fresh. They would do that with everything. Let's just be real. My Taco Bell people, y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all need to cut it out. We all did it. Because they would have it would be a sticker system. I don't know if they still do it. I think they use like a marker or a pencil or something like that, but they would have like for each like period, it would be like green stickers, yellow, red, orange, and things like that for throughout the day. Or I'm sorry, day part. I think they were called day part. So but always ask for your food fresh. As far as the desserts, the cinnamon twists are nothing but these. They're not like regular noodles, but they come in this big box. They're like noodles. You have this big square frying basket. They have a lid for it that you it would clamp down because they would rise. So you just put them in there for like 30 seconds or 45 seconds or something like that. And then you have these bags of cinnamon twist. It's not cinnamon, but like cinnamon sugar. I don't know what they used to put it in bags, and then you would shake it up and then portion it that way. But I think they just have the like clear bucket or this like frosted white bucket because you would carry those over. The taco shells, the taco shells were taco shells. They had the Dorito tacos that came out. I hated it when they first came out because a lot of them were broken because they were just poorly made. I don't know how they did it because it was almost like they didn't use. I thought that they used like a regular taco shell, the yellow one, but I think they actually made the taco shells out of whatever, and they were just poorly made. Like they would crumble so quick. And then if they were heating in the heating cabinet or the Evo, I don't even know if it's still called that, but they would have this dry heat where they would put everything. It would just make it crumble so quick. So also a tip too, if you know how it's built, the items are built, make sure you build it that way. So if it's a Nacho Bel Grande, I think they used to do like 2 pumps or 3 pumps of cheese, full pumps. You go to some of these Taco Bells because they start penny pinching, because what will happen is that they don't know how to manage a store. And because they don't know how to manage the store, they don't know how to manage their crew to where they properly portion. And if you don't properly portion, it's one of two things. They over portion or they under portion. Most places they under portion because of their food costs. I'm telling all the secrets now. Or they over portion, and when you figure out they're over portioning, then what they'll do is they try to under portion instead of training them right to where they properly portion. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Stop playing. If y'all ever get a pop from Taco Bell and it tastes kind of weird, you're like, what's going on? They probably didn't let those nozzles soak overnight. You're supposed to let those nozzles soak, and I think that's anywhere. Let those nozzles soak, because what'll happen is it'll be mold in those and it tastes weird, and you can kind of taste it, or it's just old dust and stuff, just accumulating old syrup and stuff, and it's just gunk because they aren't clean. A lot of places, there's no oversight from management. They don't clean them. So make sure if your stuff tastes funny, you be like, did y'all clean these nozzles? A lot of places they never clean the nozzles. I'm just telling all the secrets. I'm sorry, Taco Bell people. Also, as far as portioning, a lot of places they have different tools and utensils to portion. So I think there's the scoop kind of thing for the tacos that fits the length of a taco, but also they use it for the burritos and stuff like that. There's a red and a green scoop for the beans. There's pumps for the red sauce, and then the nacho cheese. There used to be a purple scoop for the at first it was a green scoop. Then he brought out the purple scoop for the 3 cheese. The cheddar cheese is just like I want to say a 2-finger pinch is what they would call it. And then tomatoes used to have a scoop. I want to say it was a purple one, and then I think the guacamole had a scoop too. But I mean, it could have changed. I don't know. But a lot of times you'll get food. You're like, what's going on with my food? It ain't no meat on here, because 9 times out of 10, again, back to the under portion or over portioning, they're not doing it right. Even with like the cheese, you got people going so fast. They got all these orders. They got all these tacos, and they're not properly pinching. So what they'll do, I'm telling all the secrets. It'll be like it's like an assembly line, and there's like this not great, but it's like this thing where you could place the tacos. And what they'll do is they'll place the tacos there. They'll grab some cheese and try to go over all the tacos, when really you're supposed to be doing it one at a time. Or you could do like a double hand and kind of knock it out if you're really good. I was that guy when it came to those tacos, but everybody can't do it. So you'll get like one taco with like a whole bunch of cheese, and then the next taco is less, and then there's less. That's because people trying to go fast, get those orders out, and they're not doing it right. They're not doing it right. So if you got some tacos and burritos like that, that's why. Other than that, man, I don't know. People used to talk about beef, the beef being fake. Let's be real. A lot of this food that they got is trash. It's low quality meat. All right. I mean, you just why that's why the food is so cheap. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you going to Fleming's and getting a beef or a steak or something like that. That's just what it is. The beef dries up, so it's fillers. I think it's like oatmeal, or I think the last time I remember it was like oatmeal something. So it's like a high percentage of oatmeal within the beef. So it's just like the beef isn't fake per se, but if we're talking about like truly fully beef, no, it's not truly just beef. It's other stuff in there. There's other stuff in there. But as far as Taco Bell, the absolutely worst place I've ever worked. The food is what it is. It's cheap food, or I mean, it's more expensive now, but it's cheap food. It's cheap food. The good stuff that they did have, like the Frutista, where they used to have it was like the the freeze, and then they would put like the strawberries on top, and I think they used to have limes too. That was, man, when I worked at night, we used to take 3, 4, 5 little carriers of drinks home. It was just out cold. And then you would come up, and the plus is that when you worked at fast food or at Taco Bell, you would come up with different items. I'm gonna tell Taco Bell this: y'all need to use that flatbread and fry it. I'm telling y'all this, and put the cinnamon sugar on there. Come up with something. I don't know. You can do like elephant ear type something, or you could like get a cookie cutter thing where it cuts it in like 4s or quarters, and then you could sell them like chips or like thicker chips. I'm telling y'all, and then get like a little icing. Oh my God, y'all be good, because we used to do that when I worked there. But Taco Bell food is just what it is, man. You get what you pay for, but always ask for your food fresh, as best as you can. Even as far as, and I guess I'm speaking to like the chalupas and everything. When it comes to the sauces, if y'all not getting a lot of sauces, it's mainly because they don't want to go refill the sauces, right? Because the sauce comes in like a pack of like 1,000 or 2,000. It's 1,000 plus sauces in it. So they usually have it right by the registers. But if you in drive-through, more than likely they just don't want to refill it. So they'll give you a couple and penny pinch. And so you think McDonald's or Burger King with the ranch or the dipping sauce is bad? You go to some Taco Bells, they penny pinch. And it usually ain't even the the managers that's telling them that. It's just the people, they don't want to fill it up. So that you have like 30 tacos and they'll give you like 5 sauces. Some weird stuff. But other than that, Taco Bell is what you make it. I mean, it's the same stuff. They might add some red strips to something. They might add some new sauce to something. But they always come up with this cute little name and then turn to something. But for the most part, they may bring out something to add to what's already there. So, I mean, that's really it. But a lot of the stories that you heard about the Taco Bell with the meats and stuff is not fresh. It comes frozen or cooled. You put it in a thermalizer, and then you put it on the line. You fry the chips that come in this big ass box. You break them up, you loosen them up, and then you fry them. The cinnamon twist, you fry them, put a cinnamon sugar on it. Chalupas, you fry it. The piece of shells, you fry it. It's nothing crazy, but it's Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? They Chipotle. It's Taco Bell. So I don't know. I might have missed some stuff. Possibly. Any Taco Bell people, let me know. I'll talk about it. Or if you got any questions about Taco Bell, I'll let you know, because I still know a lot of people, managers and everything. And I'll tell y'all, because why not? But hey, King Eats, I appreciate y'all. Peace.